Number 6 is taken from section 6, converting parabolas from general to descriptive form. And part A is from number 2 on our worksheet 6. It says to identify the direction the parabola opens, complete the square to write the equation in descriptive form, and include the parabola's vertex. So notice we got two variables, x and y. The one that's squared is the y term. So we want to solve for x. It's already solved for x, which is nice. And so now all we need to do is to get it into the correct vertex form. So first of all, we're going to focus in on the two terms that include the y. And so if there's a number in front of y squared, you need to factor it out of those two terms. So I'm going to factor out a negative 5, and I get negative 5 times y squared plus 6y plus 4. Okay, and you can always check to make sure you did this right by going back and distributing, saying, okay, well, if I multiply negative 5 times y squared, do I get negative 5y squared? Yes, we do. And negative 5 times 6y would be negative 30y, and you got the plus 4 tagged on at the end. So we haven't changed, we haven't made a mistake. Everything's good. We're getting ready for it to be put in its correct form. So next we want to complete the square. We look at the 6 in front of the y. Make sure you factor out that negative 5 before you complete the square. So you take that 6, you cut it in half, and you square it. And that gives you the number that you want in order to complete the square. So it's going to be 3 squared, which is 9. So I want to add a 9 there. Okay. But when I add 9 inside the parentheses, its value is really negative 5 times 9, which is negative 45. So I have subtracted 45 by putting that 9 there. So I need to do the opposite on the outside. I need to add 45 to compensate for subtracting for the 45. Next step is to factor. Y squared plus 6y plus 9 factors to y plus 3 times another y plus 3. And then 45 plus 4 is 49. And we have two of the same factors, so this is y, so x equals negative 5 times y plus 3 squared plus 49. And now it's in our vertex form. This is going to open in the negative x direction. It starts with x equals, so it's opening along the x-axis. It's got a negative 5, so it's in the negative x direction, so it's going to open to the left. So opens left. For our vertex, we have a y plus 3 squared. So that 3 is going to give us our y value. We take the opposite of what's there, and so our y value becomes negative 3. The 49 gives us our other value, which in this case is the x value. Don't change the sign of the 49 though. So we were asked to identify the direction of the parabola. We did that. We completed the square, and we included the parabola's vertex. Let's go to the next problem. Next problem, part B, is taken from number 7 on our worksheet, and we're asked to do the same thing that we did in part A. So we start by looking at the negative 3x squared plus 12x. We make sure whatever's in front of x squared we factor out of that part. So we're left with x squared minus, changes the sign, minus 4x, and leave a little space, plus 13. Okay, so that that negative 3, we're only factoring out of the first two terms, not touching that 13. Complete the square. Half of negative 4 squared is going to give us negative 2 squared, which is 4. So 4 is what we want to add inside the parentheses. Because there's a negative 3 in front, that really has the value negative 3 times 4, which is negative 12. So by putting the 4 there, we're subtracting 12. We need to do the opposite on the outside, add 12 to balance the equation. So we go ahead and factor from there. We get negative 3. We factor this to x minus 2 times x minus 2. And add the 13 and 12 and get plus 25. Because we have two of the same factors, we can write that as x minus 2 squared plus 25. This is going to open down, the parabola will, because it's a y equals parabola, opens along the y-axis, and a negative 3 opens down in the negative direction. Our vertex is going to be 2, 25. The 2 is with the x value, x minus 2, and so we know the 2 contributes to our x value in the vertex. It's always the opposite, and then that 25 contributes to the other one, in this case the y variable.